Hello everyone, welcome to the first review on this channel. I have been wanting to do this for many moons, and I guess today is the day. We're starting. I'm just gonna do some LEGO reviews. I've been a fan of LEGO since I was very young, and I grew up watching, I'm sure we all know of Jang Bricks, M&R Productions, all of these crazy guys that have all started from the bottom and they've worked up with a fan base. That's hopefully what I'm gonna do. Hopefully I can get into the swing of this, get the knack of it. I do want to apologise at the very beginning about my atrocious setup. Yes, I do not have a Lightroom. This has been filmed on an Android phone. Yeah, I'm sorry boys, it's a bit of a stinker. I don't have lighting or a Lightroom. So I hope the natural light is, I hope it's okay for you today. What we're gonna start to do is we're just gonna work our way through my collection, really, and we're gonna start with the 20th anniversary Slave1, set 75243 with 1007 pieces, released in 2019. We're going to start with this thing. I'm just going to run you through like a basic overview of the model, my thoughts on the building techniques, the build experience, of course. I will go into the play factors, but as a collector, it's more about how the damn thing looks, how beautiful this thing is, because this thing's beautiful. It has to be within like my top 10 favorites of all time, definitely. But yeah, I'll run you through that first, then I'll run you through the minifigs after. Because there are, how many are there? Oh, there's 5 in this set. I don't really count Honey Carbonite. It doesn't really count. But yeah, there are 5. I'll run you through that. Personal. But yeah, just a basic rundown. First of all, like, you don't understand how big this thing is until you actually get it in your hand. This thing, I mean, it's absolutely huge. It's huge. I'm gonna get Boba Fett. You can sort of see. I mean, this thing's big. I know a lot of people have bought the newer version of this, the Book of Boba Fett adaptation. For me, as a collector, I would rather go the extra mile, spend the extra money for something that's going to look better on my shelf. I mean, the Slave one, for a little fun fact here, the Slave one's actually my favourite Star Wars vehicle, so yeah, I mean, I had to get this one, not the new one. But one thing you will realise is this thing is very big, and what LEGO's done with this is they've sort of taken the 2015 UCS model and they've scaled it down and they've given us this, which is just, it's just stunning. I'm just going to take you around. You can sort of see the different angles. I mean, the one thing I did want to comment on is the build for this was, I've built so many LEGO sets, and this was like within top 5 of one of the best builds. Like, you don't understand the way this thing goes together. There's a wonderful, how normal like LEGO sets of the scale are based is they have a Technic structure, like a Technic skeleton inside, with pieces making that up, sort of pieces on the outside. That's very true, and it stays true with this set, but they have this wonderful Technic structure that all links to everything of the ship, and it's angled. They've actually got the angle in, and they've got all these little subtle, I love the shaping. The shaping is so good. Yeah, released back in, I think this thing was in April of 2019, don't quote me on that. It's part of the 20th anniversary wave. I am gonna, do most of the 20th anniversary stuff first, I think. Oh, there you can see the sun is going, and that's fantastic. But yeah, that's one thing you will notice is the shaping and the build for this thing. I mean, if you do get a chance to build this thing for yourself, you are going to notice it has a wonderful build. Again, continuing on here, if we see we have lots of greebles. If you don't know what a greeble is, it's detail for the sake of detail. I think LEGO should do as much greebling as possible, because otherwise you start to get a bit basic. We have some wonderful things here intended to represent the ion cannons here. We've got the little outside wires going here. Of course, you have your top cannons. This is sort of like the main part of the ship. These aren't actually the main blasters of the ship, which you're probably confused about. The main blasters are stored here, which you see in Attack of the Clones, but the main ion cannons. They do rotate. One thing, now this set is nearly perfect. This set is nearly perfect. But one thing that I don't like, it really irritates me as a perfectionist, is these aren't linked. So you can have like that, which really triggers me. But yeah, I mean, you know, again, this is a minor nitpick. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that like, well, I haven't got the time or money to buy every single Lego set and review every single Lego set. So all of the sets I have, I like and I love and I appreciate. Well, most of them. There are a few exceptions that I do regret. But no, this is definitely not the case. I mean, that is a nitpick there. We see there are a few stickers on this set. You can see with the side fins. Here, there are a few there, a few on the front. And then there's some on the top side, which we'll get to later, and a few inside the cockpit as well. But this thing is not very sticker heavy, obviously. If you are a Lego fan, you know stickers are terrible. They are one of the worst things. Actually, maybe they are the worst thing about Lego. Maybe. Yeah, the price. But, I mean, you know. But yeah, this thing does look immaculate. For 1,007 pieces, a lot of them are quite big. That's what you will notice, which usually I don't like, but I don't have a problem here. We have these wonderful pieces, a lot of lovely colours. I mean, there's light bluish grey, dark bluish grey, sand green. You've got the dark green here. I think this is, what is this called, nougat, this colour here? I think this is nougat. Of course, you have your light tan, very tiny bit of light tan. But yeah, most of the ship is very nice. I think these are quite valuable pieces on the end here. And of course, we have these very, very large pieces in dark green. I think am I right in saying the only other set this piece... No, this has been used on AATs, but I think the first usage of this piece was in purple on the Enter the Serpent, like a Ninjago. Am I right in saying that? I think I'm right in saying that. But yeah, the way these slot in, the way everything goes together on this thing is just, yeah, it's really, really good. The only one thing about the shelves, the sets on shelf appearance is that there. I don't know if you can see it. Bring it closer. Come on, work with me. Can you see that? That damn blue Technic pen. That damn blue Technic pen. Lego they always manage to do this, man. They always manage to just screw with you and have, I mean, another great example is the 2020 art. If you look at the art, there's like brown and blue pins and like, I mean, they do it frequently. Obviously, we know why. It's so you can find the pieces easily. It's easier for kids to find the pieces, but you usually, oh, by the way, this is something I haven't mentioned yet. I do mod most of my Lego sets. I do mod them try to be more accurate to the source material, try to be as accurate as possible as their on-screen appearances. But for 20th anniversary, for this line and a few other sets, I haven't modded this set. So you're very, very lucky. I haven't modded. I do apologise. But yeah, it does. The Slave1 does have this this wonderful feature. I mean, every Slave. I mean, the original Slave1, which I do actually have, by the way. The original Kenner Slave1 does have that feature, and Lego and Hasbro and Kenner, or any toy companies, always included that. Incredibly simple, especially with Lego. It's just Technic axles into Technic pinholes, or to allow that to happen. But it is a welcome, definitely a welcome addition to the Slave on the back of the craft. Now, at first, I didn't like this. When I was looking at reviews of other people, when I was looking at other showcases of this, images online, I didn't like this. But when I've actually had it in hand, I mean, come on, it's actually a pretty cool carry handle. Like, it's one of the better integrations of a carry handle that I think I've seen in Lego, and it's incredibly strong. That, what you can hear rattling there is hardened carbonite, but this thing's incredible. I mean, it's not coming apart. Again, you can sort of see the Technic structure. This thing's connected to the core Technic structure, so this thing is not falling off. But yeah, the reason why I didn't like it is because it sort of sacrificed some of the back detail. But I mean, you know, who's gonna I mean, as a collector, who's really gonna see this side of the Slave1? Not a lot of people. Now, while we're here, I am gonna mention a few things. This is my pet peeve with this thing. I'm quite angry about this, is the engine colour. I am a sucker for accuracy. I want accuracy, and Lego, the fools. I mean, the Slave1 as a vehicle has existed since 1980. and this thing's come out in 2019, and I think everyone and their mother who is potentially going to design a Slave 1 knows that the damn thing has orange engines, not blue. Now, I don't know if maybe trans blue is cheaper to produce than trans orange. I've no idea, but you know, they've done this before. They did it with the Resistance bomber. We can sort of pass that one as like a, oh, we didn't know because the movie wasn't out yet. But there have been instances, oh sorry, I'm moving out here. There have been instances where Lego's done that, but that doesn't really bother me. Other things on the back, I mean, you know, I talk about sacrificing detail. This is a strip that should run all the way across. These engines are a bit incomplete. That's okay. You can sort of see the larger plates here. Bit of greebling at the bottom. Very, very nice. Weapon clips at the bottom as well to store Boba Fett's blaster. Maybe Han's blaster if you're putting him in carbonite. That's a welcome addition. I mean, very, very simple greebling on the back here. Of course, you have the top little dish. Now, the ship doesn't actually rest on these here. These are sort of the anti-hinge, the old-fashioned Lego hinge pieces here. They don't actually, the Slave 1 doesn't actually sit on this. It sits on, I think it sits on the base of the engines. It must do, Yeah, very basic greebling. And here we have the actuators for your spring-loaded missiles. I will show you those later. Angles again. We're going to have a look at the cockpit now. Now, this is going to be a little hard to do. This is another tiny pet peeve with this set, is they have been using this cockpit since, I believe, the second iteration. They've used this since Jango Fett Slave 1, which came out in 2002, and they've used it on other things. I mean, my favourite Lego Ninjago set comes to mind, the Ronin's REX. They use it on that one as well. And my pet peeve is it's quite, I don't know, it's very, very geometric. It's very, very sort of like rigited, if you sort of know it. It's not very spherical, and the Slave 1's cockpit is quite spherical, and we know they've done cockpit molds like this. They did it for the UCS one, and for this thing to really be I mean, it already is a great alternative to the UCS one, but in order to be a proper good alternative, I just think that maybe a more spherical cockpit. Again, tiny pet peeve. It's, you know, this set's still great, but yeah, it just would help. I mean, this thing, by the way, to take it off, it's attached by 2 studs at the top here, just 2 studs, and I am going to get you closer inside the vehicle. Here we go. If you want to know, this is just the rough interior. This is not any like specially made interior. This is just like, you can see right straight through the middle. It is quite basic in here though. We have 2 stickers. They are very nicely detailed. Sort of a, you can see there, that is the tiny I can't really get you in there. You can sort of see it. The tiny console, you see that in Attack of the Clones. You also see it in Book of Boba Fett. A little hologram of the Slave 1 there. On the other side, same sort of thing. You have the targeting array. Right inside that, I do appreciate, I'm sorry, it's very, very hard, especially not with very good lighting, to get you in there. Seat is one of my biggest complaints with this thing, and this is probably my biggest complaint with this set. Everything, I mean, the engine color, pet peeve. Cockpit shape, pet peeve. The fact that the cannons at the back aren't synced, pet peeve. This is probably the biggest one, is because Lego, when they design a craft, and obviously they have to sort of price it, they have like a price margin, and they really want to knuckle down and get it to a specific price to obviously not be too expensive for us guys, for consumers, right? But what they'll do is they'll often design beautifully the exterior, and then they'll just completely leave the interior. That is the same with a lot of X-Wings, it's the same with a lot of pretty much every craft, and this is a great example, because the cockpit, the actual seat that Fett is going to sit on, is just two 1x3 Technic bricks that have been put together, and they're just, by the way, all this spins independently, by the way. The mandibles and the seat, they're independent, but I will put Fett in there. I'm going to get him here. And he does sit. He does go in there. Out now, we can see Fett is in there. Now it will, if I sort of rotate the craft. You can see he rotates, it goes all the way up to the top. It looks awesome. We go, now that he's out, you can just see it's sort of like a little tray. You can put any other random figure, just throw them in there. Just note that when you flip this thing up, they will fall out. The major, I guess, downside about the ramp being so loose in its connection, it's not going to fall off, but it does swing open, and so your figure can fall out. We're getting into Han and Carbonite. I mean, this guy, we've seen this guy since, was it 2012? I think this guy's been around since 2012. It's not rare, it's not valuable. This thing's been in pretty much every Slave 1. It was in the Betrayal at Cloud City. It was in the 2016 Carbon Freezing Chamber. It was in, God, what else was it? It's been in pretty much, I mean, everything that it could be in from Empire Strikes Back, it is in. One thing I do have about this set is, of course, if you're a fan of LEGO Star Wars, if you follow it, if you know, Han in, I think it was 2016 actually. It was the latter half of 2016 with the UCS Death Star. Han got a new hairpiece. Han, you can see here, here's Han, got his new hairpiece. LEGO hasn't updated the mold for this thing, which again, that's going to be time, that's going to be money to push a whole new mold out. It would make this probably quite valuable. I mean, they've given us a beautiful Slave 1, they've given us all the 20th anniversary perks, which I'll talk about later. This thing isn't necessary, right? It's not. I mean, it's a tiny thing. Maybe you can say his hair was squished by the freezing process. But yeah, you can put Han in the back. This has been a feature. I mean, this has been around since forever now. Han just goes in there, his hands go in there. And then you can slot him on the inside of the Slave 1. The final major part of the Slave 1. I get to simp about all the beautiful detail and the angles this thing's got. The final part I'm going to show you is just the front side, because I haven't actually shown you the front yet. Come on, zoom out. Work with me. Yes. We can see the front. You can see a great front. These are the spring-loaded missiles. Now, I do prefer to leave them out. What I would do if I was to mod this thing, I would remove these. I mean, I'm not dogging on LEGO here, because this is a brilliant integration, a brilliant integration by LEGO. I mean, you know, other great integrations. Oh god, The Force Awakens Falcon. The U-Wing had a great integration. The Resistance Bomber, again. LEGO has been doing this. They've been really knuckling down on just making sure that they get kid things and adult things into system sets. And this is a great example here of what can actually be done. The first minifigure of this set, of course, Daddy Fett. What is a Slave 1 without a Boba Fett? I don't know. This guy is probably one of the best Fett figures you can buy. He's not particularly valuable. He has been in a lot, but he is still quite, I mean, he's a damn good figure. I mean, he's got toe printing, leg printing, waist printing. Always nice to see when LEGO goes that extra mile. No, this guy isn't the best Fett figure you can buy. Obviously, most Star Wars fans know. The UCS Fett has arm printing. And for all you suckers that have the UCS Slave 1, actually that figure isn't exclusive. He was re-released in the Betrayal at Cloud City, so if you want that figure, he's in those two sets, but I mean, it's just the arm printing that makes that guy exclusive. This is the exact same Fett figure, just without the arm printing. The printing here is just spectacular. I mean, it's always been great. This cloth material is hard. It's actually a hard material. LEGO did a stupid, and they went back, for whatever reason, they went back to the old harder cloth pieces. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but it looks great. It goes just as this little pauldron there, not really a pauldron, more of just like a drape, but it looks great. Now finally, removing the jetpack and the little cloth drape, we can see the back printing, which is exceptional. I mean, LEGO didn't even need to include this, because you're always pretty much gonna have his jetpack on. But it looks great, and yeah, this Fett figure is great. Getting on to the star figure of the set, I was so excited for this figure, and it did not disappoint. This is Circus. For the first time ever in LEGO Star Wars, it started in 1999, and to present day, this is the first LEGO Circus. Yes, we've been needing this. It completes the bounty hunters from the Executor. If you don't know Circus, don't worry. I mean, you're not a geek like me. Circus was just one of the bounty hunters that was on the Executor's bridge. He obviously will have accepted Vader's invitation to try to track down the Millennium Falcon. That's who this guy is, and he is a wonderful figure. This guy uses that new modern dress, sort of a cloak piece. This was, when did it? I think 2018 this thing came in. It was used on the Praetorian Guards, Barriss Offee. It was used on Tantive 4 Leia. It's not a very rare or valuable piece now, but it is modern and it does look. I mean, it looks way better than they had the Lego brick slope piece that they used to use. It looks awesome. He has wonderful back printing there. You can see there the back printing. That looks really, really great. I mean, you can sort of see that's a little back torso print, torso and down to that dress cloak piece there. He does have a custom molded head. Very, very, very nice. It's very wonderfully detailed. It's molded in dark tan. I love the color palettes for this figure with the sort of the dark nougat printing with the brown and the dark tan. It looks really nice. Silver details there for the mask. You can't turn the head, sort of like the modern stormtroopers. You cannot turn it. It's a tiny thing. I mean, it's not a big deal, I think. And the figure still looks. It looks really, really accurate, which is really, really good for this guy. I mean, yeah, it's hard plastic, by the way. It's not soft plastic. You can see the back. He sort of looks like an octopus, a squid or something. But we have the next figure, Forlom. If you don't know who Forlom is, again, don't worry. He's another one of those guys on the Executor bridge. This figure is not exclusive. He was first introduced in the Bounty Hunter Battle Pack in 2017. I believe 2017. But yeah, he's not exclusive at all, but he is a brilliant figure. I mean, personally, I prefer him to Circus. He has this wonderful dark. It's gunmetal grey. His main torso and legs. He's got dark bluish grey hands. Just wonderful. He has this sort of like rusted protocol droid. You can see there. It looks so good. And again, Lego has gone the extra mile to give us better printing. I mean, they have messed up. I think a figure that comes to mind is a Grief Karga from the Razor Crest set. Yeah, that figure was terrible. But yeah, they did go the extra mile and give us this wonderful print detail, particularly down here. I mean, up to the torso. Just, yeah, great. One thing that does irritate me though is the head is in matte silver. That is matte silver, not gunmetal grey. So that is, but again, it is a custom molded head, and it is a wonderful figure. It's just the look, the little printing on the bug eyes. Can you see the bug? I'll try and get a bit closer. You can see the bug eyes. Yeah, it's really, really good. This figure, I really appreciate this guy. He's one of the cooler sort of unnamed. Well, he's not unnamed, but you know, he's largely unknown. But he is a great figure. His weapon is the just a standard elongated like a blaster rifle. Nothing special for Forlom. I don't think he really needs anything special though. The blaster's fine. It's great. It works. You know, I can't really say anything else. Yeah, this guy's awesome. Again, it's the same hard plastic, by the way, for the head. If you're wondering, it's not, you know, it's a hard plastic. But yeah, the shaping, everything about this guy is awesome. Moving on to Han Solo. One of the coolest Star Wars characters, and one of the better figures in the set. This is a rarer, much rarer Han Solo. I mean, A New Hope Han, the carbon freezing chamber version of Han is a lot more common than this guy. I absolutely dig this guy. He was, I think, yes, this is a adaptation of a figure that was released in the UCS Falcon. The only difference is this guy. Of course, it's the same thing with Boba Fett. The arm printing Lego wants to keep it exclusive. They want to keep it very limited for UCS, so this guy does not have the side leg printing or the dual molded legs. This guy just has basic Lego legs, which is absolutely fine. I mean, we understand that with UCS. But the figure's great. You can sort of see the detail on the torso. it looks great. He has the standard little blaster pistol there for his DL-44. Awesome. Face, again, it's the typical Han face, right? You can see back. I mean, this is a facial expression. This is a Han head that has been used, I think, for most Han Solos. And he does have the modern Han Solo hairpiece, which is very, very appreciated. But yeah, the figure's great. I've not really a lot to say about this guy. He's not as cool as full-on Circus, but he is a great addition, and he's a much rarer figure as Han Solos go, but not this specific one. I'm talking about the Blue Jacket Empire Strikes Back version, by the way. Like, the Blue Jacket Empire is a rarer Han figure, but this guy is nowhere near as rare or valuable as the dual molded legs version and the side printing. But you know, each to their own. I'll take this figure any day. You know, it's better than spending what, 600-700 quid on either one of those sets. This guy's final great. Figure of this set. Apologies, it has just started to rain. You can probably hear that. But yeah, the final figure of this set is the original 20th anniversary Princess Leia. I'm not familiar with the set that she first came in. It might be the Millennium Falcon. I think there's a good chance it was the Millennium Falcon. But she's a great figure. If you're not familiar with the 20th anniversary line, it's quite a limited Lego Star Wars line. It's such a cool line of sets. I think at the moment as well, I'm really obsessed with the 20th anniversary line. With every set of the 5, they included a modernized replica of the original figure. And I say modernized because they're not specific replicas, so they don't have chrome lightsabers. They have the newer style of capes, you know, with Luke Skywalker, who comes in Anakin's pod racer. That might be the next review. But the Luke figure has the modern dark bluish grey hip piece, not the old dark grey. So that's just a little differentiation there for you. But yeah, this figure with Leia, back to Leia, she's really good. I mean, this hairpiece, it's always nice to get this hairpiece again. It's a rarer hairpiece. The yellow, of course, it's not flesh tone. This is back when they used the yellow. Again, this is so it differentiates from an original, so you can't say that this is an original. You have the 20 years of Lego Star Wars. The old blasters using the megaphone, really, really great. Of course, this figure doesn't have a secondary face. Lego didn't start doing secondary faces till way later. Yeah, I mean, the detail of this figure is fantastic. I mean, for what it is, a replica, very iconic. I will show you, I will do a video of all 6, yes, 5 sets, but 6 figures of the 20th anniversary minifigs. But Leia's one of the simpler ones. I'm looking at the rest of them now. Leia is one of the simpler ones. She's not the best, but she's really good, and I think this is, again, just a welcome addition to the set, and it fits with the set. I'm just going to take a quick look at the stand. This is the stand that she comes with. It's a buildable stand. All of the 20th anniversary minifigs come with this stand. As you can see, it says 20 years, 1999, 2019. When this wave was out, it says Princess Leia. It's just, I mean, this is a print. Thank God this is a print. It's not a sticker. That's really, really good. And it's just a few pieces that make up. And as you can see, I'm just going to put Leia on the stand there. There you go. And that is good. I am also going to take you through some of the 20th anniversary perks. So if you didn't know, besides the figure, essentially the instruction manual has a few other perks as well. Of course, this is just your basic Lego instruction manual. Usually I won't really touch on the instruction manuals, but at the start you can see it gives you this bit of 20 years ago, and it gives you a little bit there about the creation of Lego Star Wars. It compares this Slave 1 to the original, which this, by the way, this isn't used for any other instruction manuals. Oops, sorry, just knocked the camera there. Gives you a bit more about other figures, so you get Han, Vader, Lando, Luke, and Kenobi as well in a polybag. Again, I did say 6 figures. You have a bit about the Slave 1. There's Attack of this. It's funny actually, they use Attack of the Clones to illustrate some of the features. And then you get into the build. So this is just your little precursor before the instructions, which is something they did for 20th anniversary, which I think is really, really cool. I think that's really, really cool. I wish Lego did some of this more. It shows, yeah, that they can. In conclusion, this set is an absolute masterpiece. You know, it's it has very, very, very tiny little flaws, but you know, it's like the Mona Lisa, you know, it's a great piece of art, but you could probably poke a few holes in it, you know, like, and I don't mean physically, by the way, I mean like critique. It's the same thing with this set, you know, it's a great set, but it has a tiny, I mean, you know, pet peeves, you know, the blaster cannons, they're not synced, the cockpit, maybe slightly too angled, the engine colour, you know, it isn't the right colour. I mean, you know, very, very tiny pet peeves. This thing, you know, was an absolute blast to put together. I highly recommend you get this thing. Please. This ran me, I got it. I get most of my Lego brand new sealed. It was brand new sealed off eBay for 180 quid. 180 quid for this thing. It will. I got a pretty good deal, by the way. I got a pretty good deal. This thing will run you about the rain. God damn the rain. This thing will run you about 200 quid. So it is a case of buy now while stocks last, because this thing's gonna go up in value big time. The big one of the 20th anniversary line, it's gonna go up in value. Obviously, if you prefer the new Book of Boba Fett adaptation, personally, I don't like that set. I don't like it. It feels cheap. It's 50 quid as well. I think it's 50 quid. It's quite expensive. Again, each to their own, but if you are a collector and you want the best thing on a shelf, I highly recommend you get this one. It is worth every penny. I can promise you, you're not wasting your money. Overall then, I think this set gets a 10 out of 10. Badass seal of approval, that's right. Badass seal of approval for this set. I will be rating all my sets. And this thing gets a 10. I mean, the little... Oh, damn it! Sorry about that. Yes, the small little inclines aren't enough to drop this thing from the 10 out of 10. I mean, you know, tiny things. It's not enough to drop the 10 out of 10. This set is awesome. Again, highly recommend you get it. And thank you. Thanks for watching this incredibly, I guess, homemade video. I guess all videos are homemade, but this is a particular homemade video. Terrible setup, I do apologise. Obviously, when I am rich and famous, I will be able to afford a proper studio, but yeah, thanks guys for putting up with this. In the future, I would like to do a podcast, a Lego podcast, just with some of the boys. We could sort of do it, you know, old school style, in a room or on Zoom or something, just get together. I'd like to do it every week. I don't know if there's anyone that could, like, do that. I don't have a good mic, though, so I probably have to get a good microphone and actually some decent stuff. But yeah, I'll do, like, Lego news. I do have an Instagram. Shameless plug. No, you dirty thingies, I'm not giving you my personal one. It's just High Ground 56. Yeah, you can also, I will stream. I stream games. I am on Twitch at the moment, but you will be able to find me on YouTube soon. I think streaming on YouTube is actually the better option. I don't know, I just feel like, I mean, Twitch, you know, like, I'll stream for 15 minutes, then I'll get a bot that's just watching. I don't know. I just think YouTube's maybe a bit easier to grow. That's what other people have said as well. But yes, follow the Instagram. I will put a little plug on the screen now. Yes, do it. Do it. You must. And yeah, thank you for sticking through this video and actually watching the first, hopefully, of many in my Lego Star Wars collection-esque stuff. I'll be doing collection stuff, reviews, and news as well, hopefully. Sort of like Lego leaks and stuff, you know, that sort of thing. But yes, thank you, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you next time.